Step on up, take a seat on the swing. Lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark in my hand. Ain't nothing but love in the lines I've planned. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. There's salt by the door and a charm on the gate. Old ways die hard, but they sure feel great. Bless your heart, but mind your step. Every little promise is a debt well kept. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. Love is truth and the roots run deep. A candle's just a flame till it starts to speak. Harm in none, do as you wish. But sugar and spice don't mean there's no risk. Cards on the table, dreams in the smoke. Every wish I grant is a word I spoke. Not a soul goes lost, not a heart denied. If you stay in the light, love will be your guide. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. Sweet as tea. The magic within. Step on up, take a seat on the swing. Lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark in my hand. Ain't nothing but love in the lines I've planned. Oh, come on in.
Hello, friends. Ugh, it is Wednesday. I'm sorry for the delay tonight, you guys. It was not intentional. I had to go grocery shopping. I'm out of things that I absolutely needed, so we had to go run to the store this evening. Y'all, going to Sam's Club is the bane of my existence, and I absolutely hate it. So, without further ado, it is Writing Coven Wednesday. If you are new here, this is when I sit, I work on my book, I tell you guys about my book, or I'm typically writing on my Hannibal fanfiction. So, y'all are going to actually have to hear this twice because I have not started TikTok yet because I wanted to talk to you guys about some things. We are still raising funds for my surgery. And again, I fully intend to reach out to the hospital this week and get some information about financial counselors, but it is looking like we are going to have to move my surgery either way because the requirement of $6,500 is a lot. And while I am working hard to do that on TikTok, it doesn't pay that much, you guys. Like, the only way I get money is if people send me gifts, and I can't sit here and encourage people to give me gifts over there, especially if I say, like, hey, I am raising money for my surgery. If you send me gifts, that money is going towards my surgery. Because then they flag it and they want to take it away. So, the ways that you guys can support me, first of all, through our lovely little QR codes on the right hand, to my right, your left side of the screen, we have the GoFundMe where you can learn more information about what is going on with the surgery situation. That option is the best option in my opinion. If you cannot donate, you can go there, grab the link, and share it with your community. It's appreciated. If you would prefer direct donations, you can also use the Venmo and the PayPal. Both, all of these will pop up if you are on Twitch as the night progresses through the chat, along with reminding you about our Discord server that you can come and join, which also comes with a link. And additionally, reminding you guys about my Patreon because I finally set up my freaking tiers. There's only two. The first one is specifically just podcast related, so it is $5 a month. And then Magnolias and Crystal, the Magnolia Coven level, gives you guys all of the podcast stuff with all the behind the scenes stuff. And eventually, I want to start doing special live streams just for you guys over there on Patreon. So come join us there. That money, while eventually going to be going towards my content creation, is going to be funneled towards my surgery until it is funded and it's been paid for and we're good. But come join us in the Discord server. We have a lot of fun in our Discord server and we love to have new people come join us in the Discord server. So that link, if you are on YouTube and not on Twitch, is down below in the description. There is also a link for the GoFundMe in the description, as well as the Venmo and PayPal information in the description. So all the linkity schminkities are where they're supposed to be, and you can find them down below on YouTube. With that, let me kick off TikTok, you guys. Okay, now we have TikTok. TikTok is a running, and now I can move its chat over here so that I can see it. Normally I wouldn't have it popped out, but like, you guys, I need everything on one screen tonight so that I can actually like see stuff. So, we're doing all the things, and now I have to go play on TikTok from my phone because there is no way to, unfortunately, um, share my live from the TikTok live studio, and we absolutely love it. No, we don't. Just saying. But we're about to get started on some live stuff, and I am gonna get this shared out to all the friends because it is Writing Coven Wednesday, and we're gonna be book writing, or at least that's the goal. And Hill said it is okay to send her these lives when I do them, so I'm going to do it. Y'all, I get so nervy sending my lives to people because, like, I don't expect people to, like, come and hang out ever. Personally, that is a personal thing. I want to see, can I get this to zoom out a little bit? Nope. Yeah, I guess the only way I'm gonna get this to like zoom out a little bit is if I move it back. Like I love using TikTok Live Studio. It makes things easier, but I feel like it is so in my face, you guys. Like so in my face. And like what I see on TikTok Studio is not what I'm seeing like in my phone. it feels so zoomed. So, it be what it be. We be doing all the things. I have promoted it on all the sites. Oh, let's read what the spam email is first, you guys. Yeah, no. Sorry, y'all. We ain't doing this. I ain't fight with people. Do 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 do. Let me go get my book open, because that's what we're looking for. Book 3. I don't know. I may work on a year interlude. Hey, Britt. Hey, Sean. Welcome in, you guys. I appreciate you being here. It is Writing Coven Wednesday. We are working on book stuff. Me with my, I am going to publish my book series in the next few years. I'm goaling this. It's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't even know where I want to work on tonight, you guys. Anyone got scene ideas they'd like to throw out at me? I would offer music, unfortunately, tonight, you guys, but I can't play the playlist. The playlist would get me copyright struck on the other apps. I could do it on TikTok 100%. I just can't do it on the other apps, which is the downside of things, you guys. But how is everyone this Wednesday night? How we doing? How we feeling? I don't know about y'all, but I'm so glad it's Wednesday. We are 2 days closer to the weekend. And I know I've kind of laid off doing our card of the day this week, you guys, but like time has just not been a helper this week. So it be what it be. Oop. But I've had dinner. Yep. And I do appreciate it, you guys, if you double tap the screen and like the live and share the live. Reposting it gets it out to more people, and it is greatly appreciated. But yeah, it is almost the weekend, which is good. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate you. There are no updates regarding any of the other things that I have posted about you guys, the things that I can't talk about because TikTok does not like it when I talk about them. So we're still sitting in limbo when it comes to that stuff. So it be what it be. It be what it be. Hi, Misfit Mom. I'm so happy. I've had you in for like 3 nights now. Because you were here Monday night and you were here last night and you're here tonight. I'm trying to decide what spot I want to work on in my book tonight. What? Okay, TikTok's being weird. Y'all can hear me, obviously. It was like, no sound detected. No crap. I was being quiet. What did you expect? Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm happy you chose me, Misfit Mom. I'm so happy you're here. I really am. I'm gonna take my braid down, you guys. I swear, the hair thinning post birth control has been the worst for me. And I'm like, y'all, I want my thick hair back. It's been horrible. I want my thick hair back so badly. It's so bad. I have so many regrets. Not getting off the birth control is not a regret in my opinion. Um See, I haven't tried that one yet, Britt, and I wasn't sure if it was worth it with my hair being so baby fine. I have a rosemary and tea tree oil in backup. I've been using the Fable in Maine. Um, that's been my go-to, and that was really helpful. I'm just nervous about the castor oil being too heavy, and I only do it on wash days. So like I don't know how beneficial that is, but well, Misfit Mom, that is also hi Sam, welcome in. But that's also why we are trying to yeet the baby factory. I don't know if you've seen all the videos related to that, but we're working on it. Hey Yolanda, welcome in. But I will. I just like calling you Misfit Mom. It feels cool to call you that personally. But I will call you Misfit, my dear. Um but yeah, like I'm just nervous about the whole like if castor oil is gonna be too heavy for me because I don't want my scalp more clogged up than what I deal with on a regular basis. So like I don't use heavy oils as far as all that goes. I'm just trying a bunch of different things. I'm doing scalp massage almost daily. And okay, so up here has gotten better. All the all of this down here, however, is so baby thin. It's not even funny. So, hi Blinking, welcome in. So my hairstylist is like, it's not breakage. You're not having a ton of breakage. She saw me in December and her exact words are, it's not breakage. I think you're just having fallout. And we're not getting any writing done. It's fine. It's fine. We're not getting any writing done just yet. But my hairstylist says it's not necessarily bad. Um Everything when she dries my hair and everything like that, she has said that, you know, I see a lot of new growth coming in. So like up here is thicker than what it's been. But down at the bottom, this is just so thin. I even have a hole in the back. She's like, the hole is almost gone. Yeah, I think I've got to try a bunch of different things. I'm actually planning on making it a whole series, to be honest with you, Brittany, because I've been trying to think up video content to do. And so my plan is to do longer form videos for the long form content app, you know, and do that there. And then still do like clipped pieces for here on TikTok. And so that's what I want to do with that is actually do a whole thing. I'm actually working on a blog post right now recapping all the things that have kind of led up to this, which was like getting off the birth control in 24. The fallout started in December of 24 and I've been going through it since 2020, all of 2025. And at this point it's like we're out. We're about to be 2 years out from me being off the birth control this summer, and I'm curious to see if it will level off by this summer because it seems to have leveled off a little bit because I was having like when I say like the wads were like that big, they're big. They're now like to the point where they're like this when I pull them out of the shower. So like I think it's like tapering off. It's just it's nerve-wracking. And my OBGYN said like, "Hi Beanut, welcome in. Hi hi Ash." I didn't want to say that wrong. I feel horrible when I say names wrong, you guys. Um but we talked about it last year. She was like, give it a few months. If it doesn't taper off, we'll talk about it again. I had to go back in for a secondary testing thing. And when I talked to her about it then and said, like, it's not getting worse, but it's not exactly tapering off, she was like, try taking a Super B complex. I did that for 3 months. It still didn't help. So she's of the mind that let's get you through surgery first. Let's get the surgery first and yeet the baby factory. And then we'll figure out what's going from there. Hi, Leslie. Welcome in. But that's kind of the game plan right now, is to get through that, and then we'll progress on to figuring out what is potentially causing this, cuz like I have an odd feeling it is related to the birth control. I don't think it's if I go see a dermatologist or anything about that's gonna that they're gonna have the answers. I think either way, blood work is gonna have to be done and see what the crap's going on. Because, and my doctor's like, it's not a thyroid issue, because she's felt, and she's like, your thyroid doesn't feel weird. So we don't think it's a thyroid problem or anything like that. So there's small benefits there. But still, it's a lot of stuff, you guys, and I just want it all to be over with. As far as like, can I just have my hair back? My hair from 24 before everything happened was so amazing and so full and so luscious. And now it's like my ponytail, depending on where I pull it up, is like this tiny. Like, I'm not joking. Like, that's how tiny it is, you guys. It's bad. And I'm so mad about it. And it's not like I do bad things to my hair. I wash twice a week. We're going redhead has both been good for my hair, but so bad on my wash routine. Hi Casey, welcome in. It has been so good for my hair health wise. It is so much healthier because it is retaining so much more moisture. But caveat, I have to wash more than once a week. I was doing so good as a blonde. I literally only had to wash my hair once a week. Like, I could get it to last 7 days. And I may be putting like dry shampoo on like day 5, maybe day 6. Day 7 was wash day. But like, it's every 4 days now. Like, it's usually twice a week. And I'm like, y'all, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I try to do it. It's not good. I get very annoyed with it. And I don't know if like the extra washing is causing the problem. Like, it could be anything at this point, you know? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm avoiding writing, you guys. Y'all are just letting me spiel on. I'm avoiding writing. I don't need to be avoiding writing. Do I want to work on this chapter? That is the question. Hang on. I should do something good for you guys. Hang on. Let me do a thing. Can I do it from over here? Nope, that's not how we do it. I would do Music Misfit. The only issue that I have with it is that I can't do the thing that I would like to do, where I would like to like, ideally I'd love to play you guys like the playlist, but I can't do that. And that's the only downside about this, is that I can't play the playlist because I'm not just live on TikTok, I'm also live on the Purple app and the long form content app. And because of that, I can't play the playlist because it'll get copyright struck over there. And we don't need a copyright strike, you know, as far as all that goes. So like, I want to do it. I want to be very clear that I want to do it. It's not that. I just want to do it in a way that works. Y'all, I'm so bugged. The things that I'm realizing like I can't do over here on TikTok Studio is really kind of bugging me. I don't want to do add a gift goal. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to figure out. I want to give you guys like the wish list stuff, but I can't figure out how to do that from here, which is weird. I do. I spend a lot of time in Cade's lives when I'm not live. Our schedules kind of just don't meet up in the best ways. Like I know Cade's been doing writing lives on Wednesday nights. But I'm like I've been doing this for a hot minute of doing Wednesday night lives. I've just kind of gotten back into it recently, and so like we just kind of miss each other. Like I'll get the notification from Lynn's sharing it, but like the minute like I can't go watch it on my phone, which sucks for me because I'd love to go sit and like turn it on my phone. But I can't do that because, you know, it tells me like you can't do this, da 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 da. Like it's very annoying. Yeah, we're trying to make it. Like I said, if you haven't watched any of my recent TikTok videos, the most recent one labeled for my GFM, I'm gonna shorthand it because I can't talk about it or I get in trouble. That explains a lot of what the game plan is of doing these TikTok lives and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It explains for those of you on TikTok, this little thing that's up there. Um, that's what it is. So I am trying to do 7 days a week right now, Misfit. Every day has a schedule. Sunday is our big gaming stream time, and I usually go from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. We did 6 hours this past Sunday so that I could finish a game completely, but this Sunday we have to stick to the 4 hour minimum. Hi, August. Oh, I was about to burp. I'm so sorry, guys. I had the Taco Bells for dinner. And again, I appreciate you guys liking the live, reposting the live, sharing the live. It is helpful to get this thing out there so that I get more people's coming and hanging out with us because we are trying to build our comfy, cozy community. And we'll just see how many days I get in on that trying to come up with rituals every day. Guys, that's hard. I'm like, what else do I like to do? What else should I film myself doing? Maybe a cooking one? Should I do a cooking ritual one? That seems like right up my alley. Okay, let me get back to reading this. Did I finish this chapter? Oh, nope, hang on. I don't even know what I do for Throwback Thursday. Hi, Hazelide. Welcome in. I don't even know what I do for Throwback Thursday. Like I get my recommendations of like things that I posted, but like ooh, some of them are cringe. Oh, sounds like a plan, August. Oh goodness. What's going on Threads? Someone just sent me a thing about a sapphic romance. We love a sapphic romance. It's an Appalachian sapphic romance. Makes it even better. I would share my screen with you guys, but like my concern is people stealing my stuff. I don't mind reading things out occasionally to you guys. I don't want people stealing my stuff. I've worked way too hard on this. William and Aurelia, they kill me. Hi, Pussycat, welcome in. How are you tonight? Misfit, feel free to ask things, because, like, I'm just gonna sit here and, like, keep yapping unless someone starts asking questions. Hi, Nicole, welcome in. Oh, okay, you guys. Oh, freaking turn on some music. Goodness, hang on. Hang on. I don't know how to do that over here yet. Hang on. Hang on. You're probably one of the few that I would like automatically like let in and not have a problem with. Hang on. It's not showing you as an option, Misfit. Can you request it? Am I looking at the wrong spot? There we go. I was looking at the wrong spot, Misfit. Go me. There we go. You're going to be audio, I think, but it's okay.
I'm all kind of messy.
Hey, you are fine. You are fine. This is just helpful in general. Hey, Chicken Nugget.
Yeah, because my hands are busy.
It's absolutely fine. And I understand that because I'm also trying to get my hands busy. August was recommending I should start like on some of the nights we do like crochet stuff, but like I don't know what to work on.
So figure out a new project.
I think I have one. So I have a niece that was just born. And her mom and I are witchy, and we actually, funny enough, met through TikTok. They live up in the Seattle area, and I found this really cute like baby blanket that I think I want to that I know I want to make it. It originally started out my other friend that lives in Arizona, Julia, Witchcraft Cocktails on TikTok, you guys, and everywhere on social media. I will plug her. I love her. Julia has written 3 cocktail books. So there's Witchcraft Cocktails, which is the first one. Yes, I have all 3 of them. Shocker. She's technically written 6 books. Hey, Trevor, welcome in. She's technically wrote 6 books. I think the mocktail book is her 6th one. But I only have the cocktail ones, which are just hers. They're not like under a different label situation. So I have Witchcraft Cocktails, Moon Magic, and Mixology or something like that. And then the most recent one is Mystic Mocktails. Love Julia. She is also expecting. She has not confirmed with me what colors they're doing for the baby's room. because they haven't revealed the gender yet. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't need to know the gender. I would just like to know what colors you want.
Right. Or if they don't want to give you the color and they want a gender neutral, go green.
That's what I was thinking, is just go some really earthy tones of like some greens, maybe toss in like, yeah, like some simple colors. But for Evie, hey Warner, for Evie specifically, which is Kate's baby, I fully am planning on, I want to do her some very witchy mystical colors. We appreciate it, Warner. Thank you. But I think I'm gonna do some witchy mystical colors for hers. But she never gets on my lives, and I'm like so scared that the one time that I'm working on it on live,
You'll be there.
well, she knows I'm doing it. Like it's not like I didn't like, say like, hey, I want to do what?
Right. No.
Oh,
I was trying to finish the sentence. Sorry.
no, you're fine. Yeah. She knows. Like she knows I'm making it. We've had this discussion already, because I was like, "Do you have some specific colors you'd like to, have and stuff like that?" But I think I'm actually going to use Evie's birth chart. Hello. It's so cute. Hang on. It's so tiny on my screen. How can I make this bigger?
Don't know.
Hang on. There we go. He's so cute.
Neck.
I love it.
I'm working on it's a poncho, so I'm gonna be gradually going like diagonal down the side.
They expand out. Yeah. I love that. I have not.
Stitches.
Don't we all hate that? I hate increased stitches. I hate increased stitches. It's so cool. Is it a bunny? It's a goblin? It's so cute.
Oh, here's one you'll like. Hold on.
We get to be laid down for a minute. I've been wanting to make one of those.
It doesn't fit my head. I have too big of a head.
It's okay. It happens. I haven't been able to find a pattern of those that I love. You know what I mean? Like it's just mm. I'm so picky. I love it.
Phoenix.
Yes. Hey, look, that person does not deserve any money anymore, and I'm like, I'll buy unlicensed stuff. Like I can't say that I don't love it anymore. Do I I still love it in the essence of the confidence it's given me over the years, but at the end all be all of it, like I went through, if you go through my Insta and you go through my TikTok, I've gone through and archived or made private any videos related to Harry Potter, cuz I'm like, I stand with my trans people, and I will not continue, whether it is from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's one thing if it's on my private Instagram. I have not hidden anything over there, because my personal Insta, I don't use it for anything. So like it can stay there. It can live there. It's not getting reposted. But like my blog Instagram, all that stuff, I've tucked it all away. It does not exist anymore. It's been archived or it's been made private, because I'm like, uh-uh. Like the only thing that I still have in my closet right now is my unlicensed, to be very clear about this, unlicensed Gryffindor sweatshirt, because it is the classic sweatshirts. So it's the nice thick ones. She is my travel sweatshirt, and only my travel sweatshirt. I wear her on the planes so that I have something. Exactly. And I get so cold on plane flights. So like I keep her strictly for plane flights. I have one necklace that a friend of mine did, cuz she makes jewelry. And I love her stuff. And it's just a simple beaded thing, and it has a G on it. It's red beads, but it's got a G on it. And unless I'm wearing like a Gryffindor thing with it,
You're not gonna know.
no one's gonna know. You really have to like get up close enough to see that this little teeny tiny little thing is a G. Yeah.
I want to learn how to make these.
Okay.
Gemstone holder.
So fun fact, those are not hard to do.
I don't think so. I don't think they are hard to do. I just have to figure it out.
Pinterest. I will tell you right now, I find a lot of ways to do things on Pinterest. That's actually where I found this blanket idea from, is Pinterest. And now finding the pattern, don't even get me started on that one. I had to go through 5 websites to find the pattern. But yeah, because basically someone had shared, you're fine. Go right on ahead. I'm going to unexpand. But I'm really excited about it because it's like a 3-color blanket, and I think it's going to be amazing when I get done with it. But for Evie, I'm like, I kind of want to look into like using her birth chart and kind of color magic for her. And so I will see what I come up with. When I make decisions, I'll let you know. Like I'll send you a TikTok DM and let you know. But I have not fully.
I get out of work at like 4.
Hey, you're fine. I get off at 4:30, so like it's during the day. It's like if I'm on TikTok, it's literally 5 seconds to post my daily ritual video, and then I'm off. Like I have, when I say hi, Cece, thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. The most that I do on TikTok is like I've kind of went. Thanks for being here, Cece. I just don't do it as much anymore because being no TikTok, because like it's aw, I'm sorry, Cece.
Oh, Cece, it'll get better. Just stick with it.
Yes, stick with it. I'm telling you right now, like
Gonna follow.
you said the thing in the right chat, in other words, Cece. You said the thing in the right chat. I'm not on TikTok right now, so I can't follow you, but as soon as we get done, I will go and follow you so that I get alerted the next time you go live. Oh, thank you so much, Cece. I can follow you back now. That'll make it easier. But when it comes to doing these lives, I'm going to be honest with you, it's consistency. I actually, fun fact, joined a talent agency. Warner and I are both in a talent agency together. Fun facts. And they are really great at like teaching people how to do these things. Hey, Trevor, welcome in. They're really great about talking to people about these things and all of that. And the biggest thing, and I think Warner, you could probably attest to this as well, that they are huge on just telling you like, hey, be consistent, be consistent. And so like I do 7 days a week. Hi Pink, welcome in. Oh yeah, I do 7 days a week. 2-hour lives except for Sundays. Sundays are a 4-hour live. And for me it's just really about like I just do fun things. Exactly, Cece. That is my whole thing is I want to create cozy community. That's why I've been doing like I'm doing this thing, and the series is called Until You Find Me, and I've been posting it on Instagram. I've been posting it on the long form content app with as shorts, and on here on TikTok. And what I've been doing there is like as I say, I'm like day it's like day whatever of sharing my small daily rituals until people who want cozy community find me. Like that's what I've been doing. And so it's actually gotten me a lot of uptick on Instagram. It's got me an uptick on Threads. Valid, CC. Valid. And that's the reason why I'm not on TikTok a lot. Honestly, I'm not even using my phone to do this live. I'm using TikTok Studio because I honestly don't want to be on TikTok as much as I am because of the state. Like, I'm going to be honest, the state of the world right now. I literally was not online for most of yesterday. Riley comes into my live last night and is like, "Have you seen the news?" And I'm like, "No, I have not seen the news. I have been chronically offline, ma'am." So she texts it to me because she understands I don't want to talk about it in live. We're very much encouraged not to talk about the state of the universe in the lives. So I leave that for like stagnant posts. That's how I feel about it. Um and even if I don't make a stagnant post about it, you guys, I repost a lot of stuff, so it's not like you don't know, you know, where I stand on things. Like, to be honest, it's not like you don't know where I stand on things because of the things I repost. So, as far as it all goes, she had to text me that yesterday, and I was like, "This is why I unfollowed Aaron Parnas." Mom was a nurse, grandmother was a nurse. Mom ended up getting her phlebotomist license or her certification for that. So my mom was a vampire. That's what we call it. They're vampires. And fun fact, that is the reason why that I can tell you exactly which vein is the right vein to stick me in. I I literally
I can point to the vein that works and the one that doesn't work.
exactly. I laughed because the girl wanted to do my left arm and cuz I'm right hand dominant. One time my OBGYN was concerned about my thyroid. And so she ordered blood work. It was no big deal. It came back normal, so she wasn't concerned. And funny enough, the girl was like, "Oh, well, you don't have a good one in your left arm." I'm like, "I do have a good one. It's just not as easily visible as the one in the right arm because the one in the right arm literally sits just perfect. Like, I don't know if I can like get my arm in shot, but like it sits perfectly like right here and in good lighting I can see it. Like it's so blue I can see it. And I just told her, I said, "Honey, it's right there." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's that one right there, that big blue one that sits like perfectly." She's like, "How do you know that?" I said, "My mom's a phlebotomist." She's like, "Dang." I have good ones. I have good ones. Look at this one. Look at that one. I have good veins.
Except for that one time where I was so dehydrated. They tried to poke me 7 times to get blood out of me. They ended up using a pediatric needle in my foot.
Let's put it this way. My mother has taught me, and I have strict rules of if the nurse can't hit my vein after 2 attempts in a hospital, and we're talking the nurse, my exact words are, "Go get your phlebotomist, please." Whoever your phlebotomist is for night shift, go get them. My mom has literally drained, like, this has been pounded into my head with my mom. Okay, mind you, I'm 32. My mom has been in the phlebotomy business for like 37 years or so, maybe longer.
Yeah.
It has been pounded into my head. This is what you do. If the nurse cannot hit your vein in 2 attempts, you do not let her do a third. I don't Third time is not the charm in this. If after 2 attempts they can't hit, they need to go get the phlebotomist. And when my grandmother was in the hospital, I distinctly remember this and it's hilarious. My grandmother had ulcers. Like we're talking like this is like her last 2 years with us on this planet. She ended up in the hospital because of ulcers, because the place that she was staying was giving her uncoated aspirin, even when her blood pressure wasn't high.
No.
She was literally PRN. It was only as needed is she supposed to be taking anything. Not a nursing home, CC. Funny enough, not a nursing home. It was actually a facility for people. It was a private facility for people who yes, but more hands-on assisted living, misfit. It was more so my grandmother did not have Alzheimer's. She did not have dementia. Long story short, some stuff happened in the family. My grandmother just basically never recovered. I think it was a psychotic break, personally. And looking back on it now, I really lean more towards that's what it was. We're not getting any writing done, but it's totally okay, you guys. I will, I Exactly. So what happened is so she ended up we put her in a one assisted living. It got to the point where she mentally just could not function there. So, hi Bear Turtle, welcome in. It got to the point where she could not function there, so we moved her to this private facility, and they were again just giving her uncoated aspirin anytime they took her blood pressure. Literally, the only reason she's on blood pressure medication, she never had an issue until when they were building the big house. My hi queen, welcome in. Oh, thank you for the follow, queen. I appreciate it. So when they were building the big house, the porch and the house were not connected yet. There was a board between. My Uncle Jeff ran out first, messed up the board, and when my grandmother went to step on it, she went between the house and the carport. It ended up, she had bolts in her leg after all of this. And when they were doing that, CC, I'll answer you in a second because I need to like finish this explanation. So like when they were building the big house and all that happened, she ended up with bolts in her leg. She threw a clot to her lungs. This now, mind you, this was when my Uncle Jeff was like young. I want to be very clear, very young. So young that they used to sneak him into the hospital. There was this elderly African American nurse that would hide him behind her to sneak him down the hallway to go see his mama. I'm not kidding. So my uncle was like super young when this happened, mind you. So like super young. My Aunt Gina probably would have been about 16 at the time, maybe 18. So my mom was 2 years younger than her, so she would have been about 16, 14 at the time. Joe was 2 years younger than my mom, and then Uncle Jeff is 5 years younger than my mom. So like he was baby when this happened. And anyways, fast forward to present day. All of that is what caused her to be, all of that clot she threw caused the blood pressure situation, and she was PRN after that for blood pressure medication. So like if her bottom number was a certain number or higher, she'd take an aspirin or take her blood pressure medication. They were just giving her an uncoated aspirin every day, which caused ulcers in her stomach. Her first night, and it ended up causing her to fall in the shower and hit her head. It split her head open, by the way. So I got the phone call because I was home for the summer when all this happened. I was in college at the time. So this is like 2013, 2015 era Trula. Okay, so we're gonna go back a bit. Hey Abby, welcome in. So what happened is they so I took her to the hospital and everything. I sat there with her while she got checked in and everything. And I ended up staying overnight with them. Well, she yanked out her IV at some point in time. And the woman was so dehydrated and had been losing so much blood at the time because of the freaking ulcers that, they ended up they had to come back in and put the IV in again. Well, the nurse that came in to do it had trouble sticking her the first 2 times. And I literally looked at him and I said, I looked at him and it was a male. And I said, "You get one more try. If you can't hit it, my mom's coming down here to do it herself." And he's like, "She can't do that legally. Nah, 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 nah." And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir? She's a phlebotomist. If you don't want her suing you guys for causing my grandmother more injury, I would shut up and let her do it." And he literally looked at me like I am my mother's daughter. I am full on my mother's daughter. It has only gotten worse since I went redhead. Platinum blonde Trula was bad. Redhead Trula is worse.
Comes with age too.
It does. But anyways, so he finally got it in on the third try. And they literally, when mom got down there the next day and all this stuff, it was hilarious as crap because they were like, "Your daughter said you're a phlebotomist?" They're like, she's like, "Yeah." And I had texted mom to let her know, like she knew already. I had texted her earlier when it all happened, like, "Hey, Betty's IV came out. They're having trouble they're about to attempt to put it back in and everything." And she was like, "If they can't get it after 3 tries, tell them to forget it. I'll come down there and do it myself." My mom still knows how to do all of that.
It's like riding a bicycle, you never forget.
Yeah. Like my mom learned how to do that as a nurse, but she's also a phlebotomist, so they get taught how to, do those things. And yeah, love tour, it's hilarious. Um but like she's never forgotten how to do all those things. So of course it's like, dude, please don't make my mother mad. If you make my mother mad, then I have to listen to it. I have to spend the next like several hours listening to her gripe and complain that you cannot do your job accurately. Like, I can't watch anyone place an IV. The last time I watched someone do that was in college. Um, and my one of my sorority sisters had seizures. She's still with us. We're just not in contact a lot, but she had seizures, and she hit whenever she like if she hit her head, it did not matter. Like, yes, it did not matter. Like if she had a seizure and hit her head while she was in a seizure, the first thing that I said is, "You're going to the hospital." I mommed the crap out of her during college. Even when we were not on speaking terms with one another, I would look at everyone and tell them, "She hit her head, she goes to the hospital." We were in the middle of choir rehearsal one time. She started having one. I didn't do anything. I did not step out of the room. She had enough friends in there. They took her outside. The minute she stopped, she asked for me, and I was like, "Okay." I stepped outside. I told the girls, I said, I asked the girls, "Did she hit her head?" And they said yes. And I said, "Okay, one of you guys needs to call 911 right now." One of them called, ambulance came, they took her to the hospital. But one time we took her one time. It was me and a couple other people. And she wanted me back there with her, so I went back with her. Y'all, this nurse, she got it in first try. I want to be very clear about that. That was not the problem here. When she pulled the release to let it all to like because they were preemptively putting in the port to do it so that if they had to if they had to give her fluids or anything like that, they had a port already started. It just sprayed blood. She looks at me and the sorority sister, she instantly just says, "You went like I thought you were pale. You went completely ghost." I am already pale. For me to go that ghost color, it's bad. I do not like blood. And so it's really, yeah, I don't pass out anymore. We are past that part of my issue. I don't pass out. I just get green. But I can't watch someone draw my blood. I can handle like if someone sticks me, I'm like, just let me look away. Give me a 1, 2, 3, and I'm fine. My
Is throw up.
I can't do that one.
And I get so blood.
So here's the fun fact. I can't handle human vomit. I can handle cat vomit with no problem.
No.
I can. Being Catherine's mom has been like the highlight of my life, and it has been amazing. She is a muted tortie. Actually, hang on. Let me go see. Let me go see if she's where I think she is, and I'll go steal her real quick, you guys. Catherine. Oh, you are right where I thought you would be. Yeah. You on your bed? You gonna be grumpy when I take you in there? No. Like, look, I will always say this. Like, I know y'all adore me if you come hanging out here, but I know who you're really here for. This is who everyone's really here for, and I accept that. I accept it. Say, I so grumpy.
She looks content, but like I don't know what to think about this.
She grumpy. She's like, okay, you brought me in here. I'm gonna go to my window seat now. She's been doing that lately during the day, which has been wonderful for me because like she'll come and hang out with me while I'm working in here, doing my actual 9 to 5. So it's nice. Like she'll come and like hang out in her window seat, which makes me very happy.
You work from home.
Yes. Don't say that. Rephrase. I love my team. They're great. But the issue is this.
Yeah.
So I actually got laid off, Misfit, in 2024.
Right. I remember that.
Yes. Got the temp job over the summer. He offered it to me. He swore he did not offer it to me and yanked it out for me about 3 weeks before my contract was up. You coming back, Catherine? Oh, okay. You go to your bed. You're fine. I was unemployed from like the end of August, beginning September until Thanksgiving week 2024. So I'm in same industry that the job that laid me off is. I'm in insurance again. But it was a 10K pay cut. Yeah. And yeah, it's like it's yes, I messed up. I should have been putting money away and putting it in my savings and stuff like that, but at the same time, like
It's hard in this economy. Thank you very much.
yes. And so, like, even in 2024, it was hard in that economy. Like, I'm not being mean, it was. And so, like, at the end of it all, it happens. It's okay. It is what it is. And, but it's like when me trying to get the funds for the you know what, it's hard because it's like, and I'm kind of like a little hurt right now. We'll talk about this person to person later, Misfit, because if I don't want it to be talked about on like because the other apps are recording, not this one, but the other like the long form content app is recording, so I'm not going to talk about it here. But like, there's just some stuff going on that I'm like not happy about. But like, it's like trying to get the funds for this thing is like crazy because it's like we're looking at like because it's like Well, out of pocket, thankfully, my insurance caps my out of pocket at $6K.
Too bad, but still.
It's not too bad, but here's the issue. Um, the cost of my doctor to do the surgery is $2K. The hospital's $45K, 4,500K. I don't know how much it's going to cost for the anesthesiologist.
Probably quite a bit.
Just to sit there and monitor me for 90 minutes. So like my doctor has already said that like it's going to take probably about an hour and a half. It may be less, it may be more, it just depends. But the bright side is that I will say the anesthesia group that the hospital I'm doing it through is great. It's one of the best. And I called them to get an estimate. And they were like, well, we can't exactly give an estimate without knowing like a time frame situation. So like they were supposed to call me back. They have never called me back. So but the thing that the lady did tell me on the phone is that the bright side is that if I go through the hospital, financial counselors, which when they look at my finances, when they look at my finances, they're gonna understand, like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to pay this like up front at all. Um on top of that, I also don't want to pay them up front.
I would rather pay after the service is done.
Well, okay. So there's multiple reasons why I don't want to pay up front, and we'll get into those in a second. But one of the biggest things for me is that like I said, I don't have the money to pay up front. That's the whole entire reason we're doing the things that I'm doing. And I've said that like everything that I make through TikTok, da 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 da. I can't talk about it because then they'll get mad at me. But but like like there's reasons why we're doing certain things the way we're doing certain things. And anyways, so I haven't hit my deductible yet. My deductible is $3K. It's still rough, but I've had this year I had to have the biopsies done because this is all the prep work. I also just had to have a secondary ultrasound done because the last one we had was from 2024. And essentially, it was for my doctor to say, look, I had her even do a new scan. There is nothing physically wrong with her uterus. So we need to remove it because it is causing her problems. And so, like, she did the peer-to-peer review, and she basically said, like, she's been dealing with stuff like this since the 4th grade, passing clots this big at some point in time in my life. Like, sorry, you guys, if this is TMI, welcome to what a female deals with. Um, but one of the things about that was that we've gone through this, and I also was like, look, my aunt also went through similar things to this, and one of the things that she dealt with was that like it kept coming back, and no matter how many times she had the procedures to remove the cells that were the problem, they kept reoccurring, so like yes. And the same thing with my mom. My mom actually, fun fact, was supposed to be a twin. You already know where I'm going with this. It was an ovarian cyst tumor on her left ovary.
Sounds like my mother.
With calcium deposits. It actually had a tooth and hair. So I was also, fun fact, conceived. One ovary. So anyways, point being, my mother also, when I was in high school, had a hysterectomy. So my aunt and my mom both have had their own issues. And so I'm like, look, at this point, it is wholly genetic on my mom's side of the family, and I swear that's where I got it from. So like, can we please convince them that this needs to just yeet out of my body? And so like we've got everything figured out. I just need to talk to the financial counselors. So the bright side about the anesthesiology group, circling back to where we started, the anesthesiology group actually, instead of making me go through their own process for financial aid situations, if the hospital says they will cover 100% of it, the anesthesiologist group will honor that. So even if the hospital says like, "Oh, we'll cover 80% and then you are liable for 30% of the bill after your surgery," then guess what? The anesthesiologist will do the exact same thing. Yeah, so they're really great about that. I'm not going to complain, like that's great, but like the other problem with the hospital wanting upfront payment that I have issues with is because I haven't hit my deductible yet. You want me to pay $44,500 essentially to you guys upfront, without running it through my insurance first to see how much that I actually technically need to pay you guys. Because in my opinion, there's like, in other words, I think it should, in other words, let me pay my doctor completely outright, because after that I should hit my deductible. because we also, like I said, so we've also had the OBGYN visit this year with the thing. So like we're closer to my deductible being hit, in other words. So like, do me a favor, let my doctor do her thing first and let me pay her off first. And then y'all run it through my insurance so that I know how much of it I'm actually really gonna have to pay, because I don't trust my insurance to reimburse me on this. I have UHC. I don't freaking trust them. Um but um but the other reason why I don't want to pay them up front, and I'm a witch about this one, I'm having my surgery at the same hospital with the girl that it kind of got blown up on news channels. Um, went in for her tubal ligation, was all prepped, literally waiting in surgery prep, and they canceled her surgery to protect her sacred fertility.
What the
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
oh, that would not be.
Mhm. They'd already paid and jumped through all of these hoops. She'd literally been fasting since the night before for her surgery and everything. Uh-huh.
I'd have been contacting a lawyer real quick.
Problem is that there's a law that protects them and they can do that, but it's a whole 9 yards thing. It's a whole 9 yards thing. But their ethics committee said that, and I was like, that's the only thing that gives me. I agree. I agree. And that is my concern, is that I don't want to pay you guys up front and then y'all's ethics committee decide last minute that I'm not getting my surgery that is medically necessary. That my doctor and I have discussed, and my doctor has deemed it medically necessary, not just due to the fact that I have been having horrible periods since the 4th grade. People, I'm 32 years old. Do the freaking math. I've literally been dealing with this. I've literally been dealing with this for 90% of my life. I want the thing out.
When they recommend you having kids anyway.
Well, here's the other thing, is that my doctor and I have distinctly had this conversation multiple times. I don't want kids. The kid that I want is the one that y'all just saw in here earlier that I was showing off. That is my kid.
That's fine.
And my mother accepts that that is my kid. That is her grandbaby. She even when she calls me, it's not how am I first. It's how's the grandbaby? How is my grand fur child? Literally, that's the first question. Forget me. I don't matter. I mean, I do matter, obviously, but like I'm just saying, like, the first question out of her mouth is always, "How is my grandbaby?" Like, she accepts that Catherine is her grandbaby, and I am so grateful for that, because you could have people that I could be one of those people whose parents. I don't even want to go through that, because here's the thing is that back years ago, when I had an ultrasound when I was 16 on my cycle to see if they could see what was causing them to be so horrible. So like why my cycle was so bad. And there was nothing. Nothing. Doctor's exact words were, and he was an OBGYN at the time, and his answer to this was, he flat out said, "We can set up the surgery and take it out immediately." His exact words. But she is 16, and I do not want her making this decision at 16 years old. Like, he's like, "I will respect if she chooses to have it taken out now, but I do not want to have her have that pressure." And he said, "There are two ways this can go. If she chooses to have children later on, her body with the first one could 100% reset, and she'll never have a bad cycle ever again." This is a 50-50 split, mind y'all. The other half is, I could have the kid have complications and immediately have to go have a partial hysterectomy. Like, literally. "Hi, Mr. Peter, welcome in." Literally, that's the thing. It's two drastic ends of the spectrum, and that's the issue that I had with it. Like, there's a part of me that would have said, like, there's a part of me that's angry at 16-year-old Trula that didn't, like, jump. Well, I wasn't sure at 16. Well, it's my other thing is, like, at 16, it's like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. So, yeah. And so, like, what if I had decided that I wanted kids and then had my uterus removed? I would have had to, like, figure out a way to do in vitro and surrogacy, and I didn't want to, like, I just no. But as I have gotten older, and I attribute this to being around, and I say this lightly, people with kids who don't behave.
I get it. Mine don't. They behave out in public, but at home, they're menaces.
In public is different. I'm talking about kids that don't even behave in public. They are the best birth control. Best form of birth control for me. But I learned distinctly, and I will say this because, like, going back to the grandmother thing, when all that was going on, I also had my wisdom teeth removed during that period of time, during one of the summers. Oh, honey, it was not fun for me. I distinctly told this dentist, I wanted to backhand him. And I say that lightly, but honestly, because I had told him, so we have a history of, in the family on my mom's side, a penicillin allergy, codeine allergy. My mom has never had a problem with codeine. She's had it before. It's never bothered her. She's had hydrocodons. They don't bother her either. But my Uncle Jeff and my grandfather both had viscerally bad reactions. My grandfather literally ripped out his catheter, ripped out his IV, and was literally threatening a security guard in the hospital. And then my mom walked in the doorway and he said, "Baby, what are you doing here?" Just completely calmed down. My uncle, the youngest one, he had a visceral reaction. He was a football player. He broke a bone during all that. They gave him codeine. He had my grandfather up against the wall by his neck, like arm up against the neck. Yes. So, in other words, when I list my allergies out, I just say penicillin, codeine. I'm not allergic to amoxicillin. I can take that all day. It's just we just list them as a precaution. Penicillin, codeine in any form, hydrocodone or not. Hi, Liddy, welcome in. And I also include Oxycontin because my mom cannot take Oxy. It bugs her stomach. And mind you, I'm a natural blonde.
Okay.
I have a mother who is a natural redhead. Yeah. I come by the hi Wayland, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. One of the biggest things that I point out with that, and this is something that I've always like tried to establish with any doctor that I talk to, is like dentist included, and my dentist that I saw for years knew this. Um while I am not a redhead, I have inherited those freaking genes from my mother.
That make you basically needing more and more
Yes,
to get.
numbed out or anything like that. So I have had the last time that she did work on me, it took 3 Novocaine shots.
Fuck.
Mhm. 3 Novocaine shots. And if I was driving, I couldn't do the gas. And the gas didn't work either. Let's be brutally honest. The gas did not work either. The one time she ever used gas on me,
Gas works for me.
she so I have this one tooth that had like a hole in it, and we still don't know how I ended up with this hole in it. She went to clean it and put the stuff on top, like to cap it and everything, and I chose to do all the natural looking caps in my teeth when I had cavities. I was like, I do not want to do metal in my mouth. I do not want, like, my mom had metal ones and hers are constantly falling out. I'm like, I don't want that. So Jackie was like, I'm on it. It's good. So I paid for it, but mom's insurance didn't cover. I paid for. Um, but Jackie did it all in the natural. But that one tooth, she went to clean it. And Lord, if my mother had not been sitting where she was sitting, because Jackie was here, her sister was on the other side, because Jackie and her sister were the only two that like I would trust to do things to me other than their normal dental hygienist. And so they were both sitting there. And when Jackie put the water thing up there to clean it out to make sure there was no debris, it hit a nerve. My right knee, if my mother had not been sitting next to Jackie and grabbed my leg, Jackie was like, I'm so glad your mom was here. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Jackie. She's like, it's fine. I understand. The water hit a nerve, and it was ice cold water. Your nerves are already sensitive in your mouth. We've always known this. This just really reaffirms that you have really sensitive nerves in your mouth. It's okay. You are fine. Your mom stopped your leg. Like,
Dental cleanings. I almost punched the dude because I told him flat out, super sensitive teeth.
yeah.
Dude, this is when I had a tooth wiggle.
Ugh.
So he was in the car seat right next to me, and I damn near came out of my seat so fast. He exited the room scared.
Like I said, if my mom had not been sitting where she was and she did not grab my leg before it made contact, Jackie would have been hit. And Jackie has never given me fault for it. She's never been upset with me about it, and we actually joke about it. It's our fun thing. We jokingly just say like, "Hey, you remember that time I almost kneed you in the face because of a sensitive nerve ending?" And she's like, I know. And we just laugh at it. It's funny. But like, it's just,
I get knocked out to do any teeth work anymore. I am like shaking in my nerves.
we'll see. Okay, so here's the problem. So the dentist who we had the issues with that did my extractions for my wisdom teeth, he came highly recommended. Like Jackie recommended him. And then on top of that, Felisa, one of our family friends, it's basically family. I jokingly say she's one of my older siblings because her and her siblings are the only grandkids my grandfather ever knew. So I'm like, y'all are my siblings. I am only a year older than Felisa's daughters, but I feel more comfortable talking to her sister, and her younger brother. Cuz Jason and I only have like 20 years between us, 15 years between us. Like it's a small window of like our age difference. If I understand correctly. So like as I jokingly say, yeah, it's totally possible that they could be at least Jason and Carolyn could totally be my siblings. Felicia's a little bit older, so like less her, but Felicia even recommended this guy. So we go. He's phenomenal, other than the whole like he's sitting here telling me that's not how allergies work. And I'm like, sir, don't tell me how allergies work. I'm telling you I'm allergic to it whether or not we have confirmed or not.
Right.
Like,
You know how your body reacts to shit.
and I haven't, and mind you, I had at this time never had codeine. I had never been exposed to penicillin that I'm aware of, and I've never been exposed to Oxycontin. So I was like, we just don't risk it. My mother has upset stomach related to it, so we don't do that. My uncle and my grandfather have both had codeine responses, so codeine and hydrocodone are not okay, and we just don't risk the penicillin. But he still prescribed me hydrocodone. It made me physically sick. I was dating this country boy at the time. Fun facts. No, Derek was great. Like, I want to be very clear. Like, Derek was a great boyfriend for the most part. My only problem was his mom did not like me. And hey, Teresa, welcome in. His mom didn't like me because she knew what I wanted to do in life was not going to be able to be done in a small town where he was from. So, thus why I was not the favorite girlfriend. Okay. But long story short, he was great. He came over and he went and got the first Avengers movie. He literally like came over. He babied me. We piled up in my bed in my room. Mom was very trusting of us. We had the door shut. Like, we piled up. I fell asleep on his chest. This country boy watched Les Mis with me. He was not cultured for anything for musicals, but he sat through 2.5 hours of Les Mis with me asleep for most of it.
Yeah.
Cool, because I was so out of it. And so, like, I woke up and I was like, I'm not super hungry, but he was hungry and he was like, Mom offered to cook for him and he just said, no, I'll go up to Little Sis's and get something. It's no big deal. And I said, I'm going to go with you. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. I had taken a hydrocodone. I have never been car sick being in the front seat of a car ever in my life until that day. It also made my temper flare really, really badly with my grandmother, who basically at this point in time was acting like a toddler because of the things that had gone on. And I just realized then I was like, yeah, we're not doing kids. That was my come to Jesus self moment was if this is how I'm reacting to my grandmother needing to be treated like a toddler, I will never survive having I would survive the physical aspect of kids. I would not survive the mental aspect of it. So like I knew then and there. I was like we're in college. Yeah, I was like we're in early 20s in college. I knew instantaneously then and there. I was like I cannot do this. But my issue with the dentist that did all this was with his nursing staff. I have never been put under for surgery until then. That was my first experience. Of course, I'm freaking out because they're not explaining what's going on to me.
Because we're used to it.
Yes. And so so you know how the chairs work, like how they strap your arm down and everything? They just strapped my arm down and said, give her 3. That's the last thing I remember before I woke up. Mm-hmm. 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 It's not a joke. Like seriously, it was that part in and of itself is like the worst experience I've ever had. And so I'm nervous about when I do have the hysterectomy surgery because my mom, being the redhead that she is, the natural redhead she is, it takes a lot more to put her to sleep, which instantaneously means that, hey, because I have a redhead for a mother, I have inherited these genes. I have only been put under once, and I could not tell you what it required because they did not communicate with me. So I cannot tell you how I'm going to react to any of this. Part 3 of all of this, my mom also used to get um before a certain anesthesiologist started doing her being her anesthesiologist during surgery. Jay, I think, was his name. um she would always get motion sickness. Like, she would wake up having motion sickness after surgery.
Oh, jeez.
Even though she's out cold when they're moving her from the room to the recovery room, she would always have, like, she would wake up retching. And so when Jay found that out, mom explained, he's like, I got the perfect cocktail for you. Don't worry about it. So Jay would always mix her anesthesiology cocktail perfectly. So she never had that problem when she had to be put under with him. Well, I don't know what the cocktail is. I don't know if mom's got Jay's number or anything like that. So I'm really nerve-wracked about that because I'm like, um, just so you know, there was a special cocktail that worked. I don't know what said cocktail was, but I just want to be very, very clear. I would rather us preemptively give me whatever is going to keep me from having, you know,
Adverse reactions.
yeah, I'd rather just be better safe than sorry than to risk me waking up later in the evening or later that afternoon after surgery and instantaneously, like, because mind you, we're still going to be passing, like, because they have to because it's going to be done laparoscopically and they have to flood the cavity with O2. I'm going to literally be dealing with, like, not not like normal gas, but like getting that excess O2 out. And all I can imagine is how bad my stomach is going to hurt from having to deal with that. So I'm like, I would just be like, look, I know how my body reacts to me being physically sick like that. And when I tell you that, like, it's an ab workout for me, we do not need me contracting my abs. So, like, if we can, like, minimize that as much as possible, please. Like, I don't care what we figure out. If we find out what the cocktail is, I need someone to write it down for me so that I can, like, if I don't ever have surgery at this hospital again, but I go to a different one, I can just hand the anesthesiologist and be like, here, make copies of it here. You can just have this for me. Hi, Waylon. I write fantasy genre is where I'm kind of at right now. It's a present day genre, kind of, sorta. This one's a historical fiction.
Ooh.
Girl, you have no idea. This okay, so I got the idea, long story short, I got the idea for this series when I was in college. And I originally started it with book 3, and this was actually, fun fact, book 3 was supposed to be book 1, and then I decided, wait a minute, we're gonna have 5 members of this. No, rephrase. We're gonna have 6 members of this family. Yes, it is an alternative history fan fiction fantasy situation. Um, so the premise of this book is based in Dracula, which I am a Dracula stan. I love Dracula. I always have. I always will. Um, I actually am collecting all of the Funko Pops that they did for Bram Stoker's. Um, it is not time travel, Wayland. Unfortunately, I'm not doing time travel in this one. Yes, you are good. You are good. I appreciate you hanging out, Misfit, and I will message you later about the other things that we'll talk about. But the premise of this story is that this is an immortal werewolf family that has been loyal to the Tepish bloodline since its existence. And book 1 follows the matriarch and patriarch of the series, or of the pack, from when they get married until they are forced to flee Wallachia during the Turkish invasion. Vlad sends them off. They have to leave. So, book 2 is set during Bram Stoker's Dracula London. Because Dracula is in the public domain now, and I can poke at this all I want. So book 2 is set then. That centers around Dimitri, who is the oldest son, and his partner, Henry. Book 3, which is the one I'm supposed to be working on and have done nothing on for like the last hour and a half because we've been chit-chatting, is about William and Aurelia. Aurelia is the second oldest child of the family, and William is actually a Tepish Van Helsing situation. And so that's book 3. Book 4 is about Emil, who is the third oldest of the family. And the 5th book is about Avanti, who is the baby boy of the family. So Aurelia is the only girl. And so I have been working on book 3 because I need a middle ground to get to when working on books 1 and 2. Books 4 and 5 will be easy afterwards. I've kind of started poking at 4 actually, but I need a middle ground to reach, so I'm working on book 3 first. So that is what I'm supposed to be working on tonight. I clearly have not been working on it. I tried to force myself into working on the chapter where William starts his job, and I'm having issues. I'm trying to understand. It's not so. So supernaturals are not known in the world I'm creating. Like they're so the idea is that so I've kind of turned the Van Helsings into my evil villains in this, to be clear. So we have the Van Helsings as Waylon, have you ever seen the Highlander TV show? Like, we're talking like Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, all that. Have you seen Highlander? Because this is how I explain it, is that the Van Helsing family back in the day were like the Watchers in Highlander. And or you could even use Anne Rice's world, the Telemeskin, where they are um they're aware of it but not be of it situation. Whereas they're more mediators between all the supernatural beings. Their bloodline is specifically tailored for that. And I know it's not my favorite because they all, but it's the idea of the Watchers specifically is what I'm getting at, Waylon. So for me, the way it works with this is that the Van Helsing family in book 1 is like mediators. They keep the history of the supernatural bloodlines. Kind of think of them like the assassins in Assassin's Creed and all that stuff, where like they know like all the family trees of the assassins and all that stuff. It's kind of like that. But somewhere between book 1 and book 2, where we have the Bram Stoker Dracula London setting in book 2, the Van Helsing family has kind of diluted and forgotten their true purpose, which leads us to Van Helsing in Bram Stoker's Dracula, where he is going after Dracula and all that stuff. And down through the years, they eventually end up becoming the villains. They are hunting down supernatural creatures. Whether they be witches, whether they be vampires, whether they be werewolves, whether they be demons, whatever you want to call. That's what they're doing. And so it's the premise of it is that they are the bad guys. William, fun fact, is both a Tepish and a Van Helsing. His mom is from the Tepish bloodline. His dad is a Van Helsing. I have jokingly kind of casted people in this And my thought process is because I thought it'd be funny. This will probably not get any movie lucrative deal or anything like that, but like if it were, I want Gary Oldman to play the Van Helsing dad because I think it's funny because he played Dracula in the Bram Stoker Dracula movie with Keanu Reeves and everything like that. I think it'd just be funny for him to play the Van Helsing in this point. um, but in the modern day sense. And anyways, point being is that they become the bad guys and they are what we are dealing with as the villain protagonist through books 2 through 5 at that point. Book 1 just centers on kind of setting up the world's rules and the reality of the rules. Rules in this are very straightforward, and I'm actually going to pull them up on my phone real quick because I can't necessarily get to what I'd like to get to, if that makes sense. Let me get to my book writing. Because I have like a Notion thing where I do all these things and I keep them all together. So I'm trying to find. No, I don't want to add anything. Shush, stop. Okay, I must have moved it out of the book 3 plotting. Hang on. I've had to have moved it, and now I'm like questioning my life of where I put this. Did I put it in the character vault? I don't think I put it in the character vault. I hope I didn't put it in the character vault. I did not put it in the character vault. Did I maybe put it in the writing schedule? Nope. When you've missed things and you've messed with things and you tend to forget things. Not that. Not that. Did I put it under the Van Helsing family? Nope. I cannot find where I put this. But essentially there are rules to the world, and the idea behind the rules is that if no immortal creature can hold a royal title, essentially. So like witches are immortal in this, vampires, werewolves are immortal. They're not allowed to hold titles, royal titles in any way, shape, or form, and that means dukedoms, anything like that. So they have to abdicate essentially when they become these creatures, or if they're born these creatures. So Vlad, for instance, has to give up being the prince of Wallachia because he turns into a vampire. And one of the other rules is that they cannot marry. Immortals cannot marry royalty. And if they do, that still requires an abdication situation. So Aurelia and so in this, it's functioning more just like how our world is, where like everyone thinks vampires and werewolves are fiction. It's literally like that. But there are more things. I'm debating on bringing in Fae in a way, but I keep hesitating because I don't know as much about the Fae. Like werewolves, vampires, and witches, y'all, that's my jam. I am a practicing witch. I get this ish. I happen to be obsessed with vampires and werewolves. I have literally grown up on Underworld. I can do this all day long. So for me, they don't know that they exist in this world. Um, so yeah. For me, I'm choosing not to have people know that they exist. I like it better that way. It's more fun that way. But like there are trusted humans in the circle, obviously. But with this, it's more centered in in the essence of we are staying in their world, not outside of it with the humans for the most part. The most human we get is like Georgetta, which is William's mom, who is still human and stays human through this whole entire story arc. Um, but it's I like the idea when the supernatural isn't like mainstream known. It's more fun for me in that way. So that's the premise. Um so that's the idea behind it. They're not necessarily part of the like no one knows that they're really existing and stuff like that, which I love. So I can't complain. That's how I've kind of done these things is I want it to be like that. So uh I couldn't say on that one for you. Um the way I've crafted this is I don't know how everything's going to work in this. Like I don't. Like I've been picking pieces apart of this for a hot minute. We're at 57,619 words. I don't even know how many pages that translates out to. How many pages are we at? That's 172 pages. Like we're not there yet. We're not anywhere near where I want to be with this yet, but I got a lot of chunks of it done. It's just a lot of process. Witches exist everywhere. We exist everywhere. Or at least that's my opinion of it. We exist everywhere. Sorry, y'all. People are posting about the merch at the Florence and the Machine concerts, and I appreciate this. Oh, I want to know how much the sweatshirts are. Because I'm going to the concert. I already have that. It happens. Don't piss off a witch. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, y'all. Florence the I I'm not as in tune as I would like to be with everything, to be honest, Waylon. I try. There are some times where I get vibes and stuff like that, but I'm not. I'm not psychic. There's part of me that sometimes wishes I was, but I am not. Oh. So so I've had a few deja vu moments. Hey you guys, welcome in. I've had some like deja vu moments over the years. Like in elementary school and stuff like that. Like we'd have substitute teachers and I literally like occasionally have random dreams and not just subs but just in general, like I'd have random dreams and then remember, and then like the next day it'd be like, wait a second, that then it's something actually happened. I have had this happen. This is one of my favorite stories to tell you guys. I'm a Star Wars nerd at heart, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So back when, and I wish TikTok had existed more so when this one came out, because I would have loved to hit, or at least I wish I had been more present on TikTok if if it was around at the time, because I can't remember. That I wish I had been more present there, because when the sequel trilogy started with The Force Awakens, it was October. I was home. Mom was cooking breakfast. I came in, I sat at the counter, and I was like, because we had already planned we were going to go see the new movie when it came out. I told her, I was like, I had, for the first time and Lord knows when, I had a Star Wars dream. She's like, okay, what was it? What happened? And she knows, like, if I'm bringing it up, like there's a reason I'm bringing it up. And I said, because by now I have seen all of the promos and stuff like that, and we know what Kylo and everything looks like. And I told her, I was like, well, we were in this room, and I was this big metal room. Told her, I was like, it kind of gave me reminiscent of the Death Star, for instance, like a big room in the Death Star. She's like, okay. And I was like, these doors, like, it's in first person point of view for me. So like I am seeing as this person. And the doors had opened. The light was coming in, so I knew we were on a planet as far as all that went. And I saw this platform over an open chasm. I'm telling you guys, I'm really not making this up. Staring at this chasm, and I could make out two figures in the middle of this walkway platform situation. I saw a red lightsaber light up. It was Kylo Ren, so I instantaneously knew one of the two on the platform was Kylo Ren. And all I know is that the other body got stabbed with the lightsaber and then fell off the walkway. I didn't know who the other character was. I just told my mom. This is what I dreamed. We get into the movie theater, we're watching the movie, and as the scene starts to play, I realize, oh my god, I was Rey the whole entire time with this. I was seeing this as if I was Rey. And I realized who was on the platform with Kylo Ren when I was sitting there. When I had realized who it was on the platform during the stream and everything. And it was Han Solo. Which, by the way, you guys, Han Solo is my favorite character in Star Wars. Come at me all you want. I am a Han Solo girl. I even love the guy that they casted to play young Han Solo. Love my guys. They're amazing. Give me my guys. So, I'm sitting here in the movie theater, and I'm bawling my eyes out, mind you. when all this is going on, because this is Han Solo. I love Han Solo. I hate that they're killing him off in the series. So I'm bawling my eyes out. And I realized this, and my mom just looks at me and she's like, I cannot believe you dreamed this, but you didn't know it was Han Solo. And I'm like, I I wished I'd known it was Han Solo, because I will be honest, I would not have gone to the theater and watched this movie play this out if I had known it was Han Solo. Because on top of all this, there was this dad and this kid sitting in front of us. Kid was probably like same age I was when I started watching Star Wars. I was 4 when the 20th anniversaries came out. So like, do the math. He was probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7. Like in that window of like when you would first get introduced to Star Wars, in my opinion. He turns to his dad and he elbows him and he goes, "That girl behind us is crying." And the dad just tells him to shut up. I finally get composed enough to deal with the rest of the movie and the outcome of the rest of the movie. And then Leia and Rey hug at the end about Han, and I'm just bawling again like a big old baby. Kid goes, "Dad, the girl behind us is crying again." As we're walking out of the theater at the end of the movie, and we're getting ready to go, we all, him, his kid, my mom, and I end up stuck waiting for people to move because they're being mean and won't let us out of the aisle. And he turns to me. He apologizes for what his kid was saying and then says, "I am so sorry for your loss." Because he knew I was crying over Han Solo. And I could tell that he had been holding it back a little bit, but I could see the tears in his eyes. I was like, "I am also so sorry for your loss," because I'm pretty sure we both felt felt very emotional about this. And he's like, he doesn't understand yet. And I'm like, he will. He will as he gets older. He will understand exactly why that scene was so painful for some of us. Like, I have been a Han Solo girly ever since Harrison Ford first originated the role during the original trilogy. I am a Han Solo girl. I am a Harrison Ford girl. I will pick Harrison Ford any day of the week. This man is slowly rebooting all of his freaking franchises he's been part of. And he's, there are certain ones, like, he has handed off certain ones. He has handed off Star Wars to Alden. He's handed off Han Solo to Alden. Alden's great. Alden's perfect. He was my perfect fan cast, and I'm so glad he got the job. He's like, no one's getting Indiana Jones. Chris Pratt, go away. And then you have like, he's just slowly revitalizing all of his franchises. And I'm just like, yes, please continue this, sir. We need this. I'm gonna actually try to write, you guys. I feel bad because this has totally not been a writing coven night, but like, I have talked about the book at least. That makes me feel better. But yeah, like, when it comes to psychic stuff, I don't say that I'm psychic. I just say that I occasionally get premonition dreams and they may or may not come true. And clearly one of them came true. I get a lot of deja vu things. It's funny. The deja vu is fun. The deja vu dreams. Okay, so Waylon, as everyone does, fan fiction. I have been writing off and on for years. I've never finished a fan fiction I've ever started. I am trying though. I'm currently in the process of writing a Hannibal TV show fanfic called Predators and Prey, and it's on my AO3 throwaway account. Um, so for it's a retelling of the whole entire series with some flashback chapters interchanged in between of it. And I am determined I'm going to finish it. I am determined. It's just really, it's just some nights I don't want to touch it, and some nights I do. So I'll randomly poke, like I'll turn the show on because I have it on Apple TV, and I'll just binge through it. I also have it on DVD. I bought it all on Blu-ray. But like I just binge it every so often, and then it comes as I think of things. I jokingly say it's maladaptive daydreaming. I know it's not real, but it's like maladaptive daydreaming for me, that I come up with a lot of my scenes via that. Aurelia and William are a little bit different. Their story's a little bit different, so like I don't maladaptive daydream that. Um so so I wrote in school, but not as viciously that I would share with people until high school. And I had people in high school that were like, I really love this. I think it's great. You should definitely like try to finish it and publish it. But like I have to really love the story that I'm telling. And a lot of those stories, like I could get certain scenes done, but I didn't like love everything that I was writing. So with Werewolves of London, it's a lot different. Like um to kind of give an example of what I'm doing with this is that like I've got a lot of chapters, like whether they're written out, they're definitely like scoped out for like what I want to happen in them. Specifically like I I have chapter 9, I have chapter 3, and then I have to fill in between chapter 3 and chapter 9. I have chapter 13, 9 to 13 I need to fill out in between. But like I have certain scenes that like I'm like I have to write these. They may move out of the chapters that they're in and shift around, but it's a lot of it I've kind of like pre-scoped out of how I want it to function through this story. For instance, like um, so like so the way that I describe it, and I explained this to one of my friends the other night, the way this works. I think this is Des. I think this is. I was explaining this to you. Is that it's a 5-book series. So you have to have Act 1 is books 1 and 2. Act 2 is book 3. Act 3 is books 4 and 5. So like you have like this pinnacle of the roller coaster hill going on over the series. Well then guess what? Every series has to have its own acts 1, 2 and 3. So I essentially have acts 1, 2 and 3 scoped out for this book, and I know what's going to happen. So like we have the beginning of the book, we're setting up the world, we're setting up the characters for the present day world. You're meeting Andre first. He meets Aurelia for dinner so that she can discuss, hey, I want to expand the club. And her father is a silent partner and all of that. So in that case, she's dealing with that, where her father is a silent partner in this business, and she's like, I need the seed money to be able to do this, XYZ. Hey Sean, welcome in. So like she needs the seed money to be able to do these things. So like we're setting up the act 1 of like this is where William and Aurelia meet and all this stuff. We're setting up her it's a flashback, but it sets everything up of, Aurelia's done with her 600-year situationship with Vlad. Fun facts. And so we set up all that in the beginning, and then as we're in act 2, as we're getting towards that climax situation, it is that act 2 is William and Aurelia slowly growing closer and closer to the point where they're saying like I love you and stuff like that. And then act 3 is the smoking gun, aka we've introduced William, we know he is a Van Helsing undercover at the beginning of the book. It now becomes the smoking gun in act 3. And so it's like, as I jokingly say, it's like each book is like its own little roller coaster dipping towards that top middle of the third book and then coming back down the slope on the other end. So it's making sure that I'm creating the present day drama is the best thing for me, and in other words, saying that the middle book is going to be the first book that I finish is important in the essence of getting that we've got the act 2 sitting here. It has done its act 1 and 2 and 3, the micro acts, and then we're able to go into books 4 and 5 and have that resolution of what happens with the Van Helsing family. And it's kind of great in that aspect of how I'm doing it. Um, Probably not the way most authors would do it, but for me, it's easier to start in the middle and work my way out from that. But I have started book 1 to a degree. Book 2, I'm really gonna have to do some research, as well as some deep diving and having some sensitivity readers on, because Aurelia and William's relationship is a heteronormative relationship. Even though I am bi, I don't speak for um well, I wouldn't say it's 100% emotional. There is some emotional roller coaster going on in a lot of this. Um, as I said, Aurelia's been in a 600-year situationship with Vlad. On again, off again, on again, off again. So there's a lot of like self-confidence things for her that she works on through this book. And William plays a huge part in that for her. And in books 1 and 2, there's always going to be a lot of emotional stuff going on, because book 2 is going to focus in on, like I said, Dimitri and Henry, and they're my lovely gay couple. And that's the thing about the werewolves that I will say that I have done with the werewolves, is that they are super inclusive in all of that. um that they don't care. Like, they care about the people in their lives, but they don't care about the whole, like, what a typical relationship should look like. That's their opinion on it. And um I don't know why that just randomly connected. Who knows? Um but the premise behind all of that is, that's why I say, like, book 2 is going to take a little bit of research, some sensitivity reading, and also picking some brains of some people, because I want to make sure that Dimitri and Henry portray a very good, healthy relationship in those aspects, because I I I I want everyone to find some piece of themselves in these books, um as much as possible, so I want to have that representation throughout this series. And so we have like the heteronormal relationships that you see between I mean, it happens. I was griping about this the other night with Predators and Prey. I left myself a note. Write filler stuff. No direction, just write filler stuff. And so I had to figure out what I wanted to go there. It happens. And so for me with this specifically, that I really want to, like I said, I want to show like obviously we're going to have two heteronormative relationships, Andre and Celestina, who are the patriarch and matriarch of the family, and then William and Aurelia in book 3. Those are our heteronormative normal relationships, male female. um Dimitri and Henry are not the only gay couple in my series, but they're the prominent gay couple in the series. Um, Emil and Avante, those two have not quite decided what kind of relationships they want. I Avante's bi, but also this man in my head is like, I could be poly. Like that's the things that get thrown out of my head. Like, I want to find ways to, like, not sensationalize it all, but to, like, make it inclusive for everyone, if that makes a little bit of sense. I want someone to find something in all of these stories that they are drawn to, not just the, like, oh, it's a really great storyline. I want them to find, like, pieces of themselves of going through these things. Like, um and again, it's not sensationalization in it. I just want to include those things and have different representation. Like there's one of Aurelia's best friends is a trans werewolf. And like all those centuries before, they've never had the ability to just like be themselves. And now in the present day world where we have all these medical marvels, she's this person. Aurelia's like, well, well, now you can physically be what you want to be, not just mentally, like not just like, you can actually be who you want to be. And so Aurelia is like so supportive of all this, and it's a big deal. So like I want to like have those representations and have everyone like be able to find themselves in this. And have those moments of like, oh my goodness, this is so great. As far as it all goes. It's a process of getting there that is. I typically only write on Wednesday nights, and tonight has not been kind to me as far as like wanting to write, which is fine. It happens. And so I live with it. It's okay. It could be worse. So we just deal with what we got to deal with. And I'll probably write, like, honestly, I'll probably like shut all this down and then take my laptop with me to bed, you guys, and write for a little bit. I've already done my reading today, so I don't have to necessarily read. So that'll be nice, and I can sit and work on a little bit of this probably. But I want what I want out of my books is less famousness to come with it. It's not necessarily that. I just want good comfort books. Oh, that sucks. Like I said, I want to write for the people who like don't always see themselves represented, if that makes sense. And so one of my biggest goals with this is like definitely to have inclusive style characters. But I also still want to remain historically accurate as much as possible, which is the biggest concern with like books 1 and 2. Books 3, 4, and 5 were not historical. They're set in the modern day. So those 3, I'm like, being inclusive in those 3 is a whole lot easier. But being inclusive in the essence of book 1 and book 2 is going to be extremely hard in some cases because it does require a lot of research. I think that's also why I'm working on book 3 first, is because I'm like, I don't want to do all the research yet. Actually doing research on Romania and Wallachia, making sure that I'm like getting all the details right and all that stuff is a looming thing over my head, and I'm just nervous about it. So, but it is 10:04, you guys. I know that I haven't written anything or read you guys anything. I'm sorry for that, but your girl does need some sleep. So, TikTok. Until our next cup of tea, I will see you guys tomorrow night. So, I'm going to kick you guys off, and I'll see you later in the live. Okay. Okay. Now over here on the YouTubes and the the Twitches. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you being here. I'm sorry we did not write tonight as much as I wanted to, and it's been more of a gab fest. But sometimes your girl just needs like a gab fest situation. And I apologize if a lot of the one-on-one long term does not sound as good because I did not think that we were gonna need it. But it's okay. It could be worse. But I appreciate you guys coming by. I appreciate any of you who have followed me. It is appreciated because we are always working on subscriber goals. It's wonderful. And again, As we end the live tonight, I will also point out the QR codes to the right. My GoFundMe for my partial hysterectomy that I'm trying to raise funds for. My Venmo and my PayPal are also included in case you want to direct donate instead of going through GoFundMe. It's absolutely fine. Just please note that if you do send through those platforms, I will be setting it up as an anonymous donation on GoFundMe just so that we can see the overall amount that we're raising at this point. But it is appreciated. Even if you cannot donate, if you could go to the GoFundMe and grab the link and share it with your friends and your community, that is greatly appreciated as well, because your girl really does not want to go into debt over this dang surgery, because not that I'm in a lot of debt, but I got like $19,000 in student loans that has to be paid off, and with the government doing their BS as they are, it's BS. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm just gonna say it. It's bullshit. There was nothing wrong with a save plan, people. Okay? And at this point, I'm pretty sure I could get my freaking student loans discharged because I don't have the money to pay for them. And all these different things. So I may look into that. Who knows? But as I said, Wednesday nights are typically always writing Wednesdays, and next week I promise we will actually write, you guys, and I will share some stuff from the book. But again, like I said, if you can just at least share the link, that is greatly appreciated. And friendly reminders that we do have a Discord server. You can come and join us in the Discord server. It is called the Magnolia. While I say it is the Magnolia Coven Discord, it is technically just called Magnolias and Crystals because that is my branding everywhere. But come join us in the Hearth. It's great. We're going to be doing, I'm slowly amassing the Jackbox games, and we're going to start playing those on Saturdays together, I think. Or maybe Fridays. We'll see what the group says. But we're going to do those together, I think, as a little group bonding activity in the server. And there's also my Patreon, where you can join $5 a month on the podcast tier, which is the Hearth, Heart, and Rituals tier, or you can join the Magnolia Coven over on the Patreon for $10 a month. The Hearth, Heart, and Rituals tier is $5 a month. While that money is typically going to go towards content creation, as of right now, due to the surgery situation, it will be going towards my surgery fund. So any way you choose to support me through any financial means is going to go towards that. Except for my Pango shop. That is going towards, I am planning on eventually adopting another cat, and that money is going towards that cost. So, yeah, fun facts. I have everything, like, that is the one bit of money that I'm not touching. But if you're on YouTube, you can find all the linkity-schminkities down below in the video description, because that is where they always are, and I always make sure they're there. So, until our next cup of tea, guys, I will see you guys on Sunday for our 4-hour stream. We will be picking up, because Warner specifically said that he would help me with this. Warner is going to help me with The Last of Us. So we're going to be starting The Last of Us from scratch on Sunday. I'm going to start a whole new game, and we're going to start playing The Last of Us, because your girl will not watch the show until she's played through the game. And so we're going to go play through the game on Sunday and start that again. So 4 hours of The Last of Us on Sunday. So I will see you then. Until our next cup of tea, you guys.
Step on up, take a seat on the swing. Lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark in my hand. Ain't nothing but love in the lines I've planned. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glow. is what you sow. Love is truth and the roots run deep. A candle's just a flame till it starts to speak. Harm in none, do as you wish. But sugar and spice don't mean there's no risk. Cards on the table, dreams in the smoke. Every wish I grant is a word I spoke. Not a soul goes lost, not a heart denied. If you stay in the light, love will be your guide. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile.